No. In addition to the punch, there are actually 3 different weapons to this game, all of which are pivotal to the speedrun. There's the boomerang, which is sort of a mid-range weapon. The dirk, which you're seeing a lot of here, which is the longer range weapon. It's kind of the shuriken that splits into 3. And then also the gun. And because using these 3 weapons is so pivotal, it's very important that they manipulate these ammo drops. Dexter having a little bit more ammo coming into the screen. There's actually a global timer to this game, so especially in the early game, they kind of hit enemies at exactly the right time that they want in order to manipulate that ammo drop. Yeah, it's going to be really insane.
So this game is all about resource management. Right now, these guys are trying to build up their resources. They're trying to build up their weapons, and as Blecky mentioned, using that global timer to their advantage. You can see Dexter is on a good pace here with 69. Andy a little short with 45. He kind of had a few hiccups there along the way, but this is still early on. They can both make adjustments as needed.
Yeah, as we're actually already coming into the first boss here. Now, the way this boss works is interesting. In most games, when something takes damage, you wouldn't normally expect to see it, but the way that it takes damage is dependent on the way you're facing. So they're going to kind of be manipulating that in that way, and they both get the quick kill.
Very nicely done. Now, as you can see, they're going to be using what we call hitboxing. So they're going to kind of get a weapon or a punch into these enemies, and as the enemy is flashing, Batman actually won't take any damage, and you can pass right through. So you don't always have to kill the enemies in your path. As you see Dexter did just there, you can kind of just hit them real quick and pass through. Yeah,
they're gonna be doing that in so many different ways. It can be a punch, it can be a boomerang if the enemy is going to be kind of being invulnerable long enough. There are just so many options in this game, and that's why actually ammo is so important, because depending on the enemy, depending on how you approach him, there's going to be a bunch of different ways you can deal with them.
That's right. So there are certain situations where they may want to use more or less ammo. They're going to have to make tough decisions to manage their resources correctly throughout the course of the game. They want to get just as much ammo as they can. You're never really, truly comfortable, though, in this game.
Yeah. There's a bunch of different ways you can do wall jumps as well. You saw a little bit ago there was a difference in their strats. You can kind of follow up your wall jumps with a punch in order to kind of knock yourself off the wall so that you can, instead of doing another wall jump, just kind of step away from the wall a bit. And then coming up here, they're actually going to be doing neutral jumps in order to prepare themselves for just getting across with 1 wall jump instead of 2. Unfortunately, they do both take a hit there. And so health is actually, as Sinister mentioned, health is one of the resources, but this is some close stuff.
The sink. Yeah, the health indeed, because you don't actually get a full health refill when you complete a boss. You actually only get 4 bars back out of your 8, so you only get half. And a lot of these bosses require you to actually take intentional damage.
Yep. So we're not far off from the stage 2 boss. Now this boss has 3 different parts to it. There's a lower right part, an upper left part, and an upper right part. So the lower right part, the main part there is just they don't want to take any take damage from any shots, as that would kind of stagger them. Then they're going to follow it up with some boomerangs in the upper left, and then in the upper right, they're going to follow it up with some close punches. This is close and insane.
And Dexter managed to get a lucky heart drop there before the boss. Really well done.
As we get into stage 3, the jumpers are going to be very important here. They want the jumper to do a very neutral jump. Dexter playing it a bit safe with a kill there. Andy gets a pretty safe kind of pass by there. They're just about tied up. There's a couple more jumpers as well, so they're not quite out of the woods yet. These guys are one of the most difficult parts of the speedrun. You can manipulate them to some degree. What you really want is for them to do that second neutral jump, and if not, then sometimes it's best to just kind of take them out real quick. Looks like Andy had just a bit better luck coming out of that.
He did, but he is a little bit behind in the resource game. He's only got 40 weapon ammo, and he is down 3 health, whereas Dexter is on 61. He's got full health.
We got more jumpers right here, too. So it's just all about dealing with them. You can take them out, or you can just pass by. So Dexter took a bit more time to take them out to safe it out. Andy just going full on. We're actually approaching the next boss here. Or no, I'm sorry, not the next boss. It's the last section of stage 3. And right here, usually health management is the name of the game. And because Andy is a bit behind, he's going to have to be playing it a bit more safe. Whereas Dexter is a bit ahead and he can kind of take some a bit more luxury if he needs to.
There are some tricks coming up known as the cog skips where you can save a little over a second by doing some very, very precise jumps, but it does cost 2 health, and you do have to take at least 2 hits on this upcoming boss. So that's 4 health. You got to be careful. You're only going to get 4 back. You're going into stage 4, and that's where things get really, really hectic.
Yeah. So coming into this boss, he's going to be jumping back and forth. The players are going to be using a combination of boomerangs and punches to take him out. And ideally, they want to finish him off when he's on the right side of his jump. If he's on the left side, then, that's just not the quick kill. But, you take what you can get. So let's see how Andy does here. So he's following up with some boomerangs. As soon as he gets into close range, he's at the punch. There's going to be... All right, so that was a pretty decent kill, I feel. And then let's watch Dexter.
Andy is in a bit of a troublesome situation here. He's down to 13 weapon ammo. So he is, wow, nice job by Andy there punching out that jumper. He is going to need some drops here, so he needs to hope he's on a good global timer. He gets a health drop, which is nice, but he really needs the weapons here.
Stage 4 is very, very heavy on ammo usage. He got a couple solid weapon drops there, up to 20, but he's going to need to take even more than that, because Dexter is at 56, so he can use it pretty liberally right now.
Yeah, so that's slowing Andy down. Dexter kind of gaining a little bit of ground here just because he does have more weapons.
Absolutely. As we said, stage 4 is just kind of hectic action. You can, every one of these jumps where, say, like Dexter is using weapons, you might see that Andy needs to play it just a bit more safe as far as ammo conservation goes. Just because, every single weapon usage has some kind of punching backup, but it just takes a little bit more time.
And as you can see, Dexter is almost fully caught up here, and he's still needing those weapon drops. He's getting a few, so he's just kind of keeping his head above water. Gonna take some damage here at the end of the stage to speed things up.
Fortunately, because he did get that health drop, that partially brought him out of the out of any kind of danger, but.
Okay, so Andy elected to save some health there, ended Dexter. They're debating whether they're going to go for the Diggler here, which is a really, really difficult trick.
Yeah, watch their weapon type in the upper left. If they have the dirk out, all right, Andy's got the dirk out. I don't know what to expect out of this.
Oh, they're both
Dexter's
going for
it out.
All right, neither of them fell. Thank goodness.
That's the danger.
Yeah, that can knock you back down and lose you about 20 seconds, but both of these guys managed to get through.
Yeah, that is one of the harder tricks in the game and one of the riskiest, especially in a marathon setting. So we're coming up on the stage 4 boss. There's a bunch of different ways to do this boss, and there's quite a bit of luck involved too. The fastest way is to just kind of first kill the initial robot, the left robot, on the left side, and then follow up with the other box. But you can also just kind of follow one box around and then kill the other box as well. So let's see. Andy's gonna first initially take out the right box and then follow the other one around. Dexter following the same strat, it seems.
So Dexter got it.
Okay.
This may potentially bring him back. And there it is.
Nice.
Dexter has taken the lead.
Nice. Just like that.
Very nicely done. It is neck and neck coming into this final section here, and there's just a lot of really tight platforming. These guys are going to need some drops, too. You need to have at least about as many weapons as they have right now, so they can't afford to lose too much in the way of weapons.
Yeah, I mean, this last stage is absolutely insane. And especially during the final climb, which it's a very short stage, especially during the final climb, which is coming right up, you have to make very, very precise jumps. Dexter is so healthy right now. Andy at 4. So Andy's just going to need to kind of make some decisions. Oh, that health drop just teasing him. So Andy does make, that's a very tight jump right there. Yep, they're very, very close right here, coming in the final stretch.
So it's probably going to come down to the final bosses. So Firebug is going to be up first. They need to get what we call the magical position. It's a couple pixel window they can stand in and fire batarangs in a rhythm that will allow them to just kind of stun lock the boss. But if you get out of that rhythm, you can get in trouble. So Dexter's up first. Here we go.
All right, what we want is for Firebug to just jump a lot in the right side of the screen. And it all depends on Dexter's positioning and movement, and Endy's positioning and rhythm.
Looks like they both got it.
They just need to sustain it. All right. Oh, Endy loses it just a bit.
He's still in there.
All right.
It's going to come down to Joker.
Yeah. Dexter has a bit of a health buffer. Let's see him.
Now, Endy is probably going to have to go for what we call the Joker glitch, which can save him a couple seconds. He's going to kill Joker a little bit later, but end the game immediately. Dexter is about to be done. Wow. And
Dexter does take it.
And that's time. Amazing race by Dexter and Endy. Great job, guys. Truly incredible. These guys' times are separated by less than a second, and I think they finished maybe about a second or 2 seconds apart. Really, really great stuff.
You wouldn't expect anything less from these guys. Joker has been downed.
There it is.